All right, here we go. Big Daddy Shit, day 1348. Park. So, I am exhausted. I really am. And I still got to go home, get ready for the show, take a shower, shave, show. And then after I sing the day, I'm going to sleep probably for 12 hours. But I had one of the most amazing singing days for my students. So it's coming along great. I think we have something here. You know, we found a beatboxer, pianist. I'm like, wow, this guy's crazy. And then also a singer, girl singer. You know, she's a nice voice. And I got her to be able to get the ring in their top voice. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, and then my other existing singers are just getting better. And then, you know, like the band kids are getting better. Guitar kids, rock band. It's funny. I go, yeah, let's play You Really Got Me. They go, da-da-da-da-da. Girl, you really got me. It was awesome. That's my voice kind of raspy. I'm like, oh, man. I don't know if I can sing today. But we'll see. And then, what is it? Another thing that's awesome, my credit score. So, you know, all this stuff about the whole response. I remember when my credit score was like in the 500s. So, you know, I had this enormous, what is it? Student loan. And then I just didn't pay it. Credit cards, I didn't pay. And so, you know, I'm taking all these late marks. And this is a long time ago when I wasn't responsible. Credit score is probably like 530 or something. Buying a house, non-existent, right? But, you know, as soon as I got, you know, about 7 years ago, I don't know, I started being more responsible. You know what? I got to start paying my bills. So I did, hey. So, funny. So, who's here? Dog's out of pocket. That's awesome. When you're here, the dog doesn't yell at me on the outside. I know. Those dogs. It's okay. I'll see him. So, yeah. So my score is creeping up. I remember when I broke 600s. I'm like, yes. And then, you know, financial people said, like, yeah, you need a 700 to get a good rate. I'm like, oh no. So, you know, when I was able to finally pay off my bills, you know, and I moved up here, got more pay and stuff, paid off my credit cards, and, you know, it's creeped up. And so it's funny because, you know, my regular Expedia or whatever, is like at 720 something, right? The highest is like 730, I think. I don't know. But my TransUnion was always 660. It was really low. I'm like, this sucks. So who knows what the average one? I mean, I can't believe there's a discrepancy like that. And then I was always asking, how do you do it? Well, you got to pay off your debt. It's like, no duh, right? But, you know, my payments are all on time. I paid off my car. When I paid off my car, my credit score went down. I was pissed. And so, because I guess for credit or for cars, if your loan's like $25,000, right? And you pay it down and pay it down, right? But you still have $25,000 loan that you have. But once you pay it off, your like credit lowers by $25,000. So then my credit score went down the toilet. But, you know, I mean, I think when I was going for these houses, it's, you know, if you pay this off, then you probably get it up to 720, 705, right? But even though, gosh, you know what, my experience says that, right? No. So what happened is when push came to shove, my score went to like 689 or something like that. I don't know. So I don't have the best rate on my house, but I have a pretty good rate, right? And then so bought the house, I opened a credit card, you know, spend all this money on my furniture and all that good stuff, right? And all of a sudden, you know, $10,000 in the thing, right? I'm going, oh my gosh. Outstanding, and it was weird because I've been paying off my credit card full forever. So what happens to my score? Goes down. So my Experian goes 660, my TransUnion goes 656. I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad I got my house while I could, right? And then I'm like, gosh, why do my credit scores go so bad? And then so I look at my credit score, it said, you know, like $10,000 or whatever, so I paid it, got it to zero. And then last week, shot up to like 750 on one, but then the TransUnion was still 660, right? I'm like, gosh, that's so weird. 750, 660, right? And then all of a sudden it went to 790, 792. I went to 790. I'm like, holy crap! I have a score that's 790, and TransUnion is 660. This is weird, you know. And then what happens the next day? My TransUnion went up to 790, 780 something, or 750 something. Well, holy crap! This is crazy, right? So today I looked at it, went up again. So TransUnion is at 790, and Experian is 792. I'm like, wow. I can't believe I'm almost at the 800 score. I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like literally all this happened recently. And if I had this score like a month or two ago, no, about what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, then yeah, my interest rate on my house would be a lot lower. But I'm happy because if I would have bought the house before pandemic, my interest rate would have been 4.25. And so now they give me a 2.875, which is good. You know, I could afford it. And then it's crazy because that makes a difference on, you know, what type of house you could buy and how much you're whatever. So, yeah, but now the selfish part of me is like, oh, what do I do now? Do I refi, try to get a 2 point whatever, a low one? Well, you know what? I'm happy the way it is. Because I think when you refinance your house, you got to pay a couple $1,000s, whatever, and then it goes lower. But I think I'm okay. Good thing is, it's like being patient, right? I mean, with this credit score now, I wish I could get a house again. But there's no houses to buy. I got really lucky. And that's that. So anyways, I was patient. There we go. Now it's funny too because it's like, I remember when I used to joke with people, it's like, you know, when you ask those dating questions, you know, one of the things you want to do is you ask their credit score. Hey, what's your credit score? You don't care about anything else. Because if they have an 800 credit score, you're like, oh my gosh, this person's responsible, right? But then there I am, back there with like my credit score in the 600s. It's like, who wants to marry you? You know, I'm going to ruin somebody's credit. What? You have debt? I still have a really big student loan. And that's what happens when you go to Chapman. But I'm taking care of it slowly but surely. Now add a couple $100,000 you have for the house. So I'll be paying these for a long time. But at least my credit went up. All right, there you go. Day 1348 in the books. So moving around, feel pretty good. So I started fooling myself by saying I could drink high C instead of Coke, but it's worse than Coke. I'm better off drinking a Coke. But I should just drink more water and then, you know, eat sensible. I'm still in the 295, right? But I need to get down to 289. But it's good hovering around in the 290s. And then pretty soon I'll be in the 280s, the 270s, 60s. who knows what I'm going to get to. But being patient and watching the benefits is pretty awesome. That's what today is about. Daddy Shank Day 1348. If I get exercise 1348 days in a row, you get exercise 1348 days in a row. Because if I could do it, you could do it. And I'm doing it. Improving my credit.